Hi everyone, this is Dr. Nitin Chhoda and welcome to this episode of Ignition Time. I've been getting a lot of comments from our viewers and subscribers asking for an actual update about the legal challenges that have been mounted by the Trump campaign, questioning the validity of the elections and questioning, whether Joe Biden should be elected president of the United States. Now, I want to give our viewers and subscribers an actual outcome of what's been happening with these court cases. Now, keep in mind that anything can be said in the media. Anything can be said. Any allegations can be made in the media. You don't really go to jail for lying to the media. That's freedom of speech in our country. But you can go to jail and you can get into trouble for lying to a judge. Now, what Chris Christie has said is essentially, and by the way, I did cover this in other videos on our channel, what Chris Christie, who's one of the greatest, supporters of the president, has said that, President Trump's lawyers, and I'm paraphrasing him, they say something different to the media, but when they go in front of a judge, they don't present any evidence. That's what Chris Christie said, okay? So don't blame the messenger. So what I'm going to do in this video, I'm going to focus on the actual outcome of the court cases. I'm not going to focus on the allegations. I'm going to focus on what the courts have decided, because in my opinion, it's not for me to decide, whether the allegations make sense or not. It's for a judge to decide after a judge sees evidence. And I want you to listen to some of these facts and I want you to judge for yourself. So President Trump's campaign and Republicans have mounted many legal challenges in several states. Now, many are small scale lawsuits that don't appear to affect many votes. So let's give you an update in the state of Arizona. In the state of Arizona, there have been 4 cases that have been filed. In one case, a judge dismissed the case on the 20th of November. In the second, a judge rejected Republicans' bid to postpone the certification of the election results and dismissed the party's legal challenge that sought a new audit of the sampling of ballots. By the way, guys, this is actual news from the judges. So I strongly recommend that you share this video with friends and family. And I'll also provide you with a link in the description section below to a table where you can see the updating of these results in real time. So please make sure that we spread the right information out to our friends and family. In the third case in Arizona, plaintiffs actually agreed to dismiss the case. Okay, and in the fourth case in the state of Arizona, a judge dismissed the case over a week ago on the 13th of November after the campaign's lawyers acknowledged the small number of ballots at issue would not have changed the outcome of how Arizona voted for the president. Isn't that interesting? Let's see what's going on in Georgia. One of the cases in Georgia was voluntarily dropped by the plaintiffs on the 16th of November. By the way, when I say plaintiffs, I mean the president's team and the president's lawyers, because the plaintiffs in this case are President Trump's legal team and Republicans. So that's what's happening in the state of Georgia. More outcomes in Georgia. In another case, a judge on the 19th of November denied the request for a temporary restraining order to halt the certification. In the third case in Georgia, a judge dismissed the lawsuit after local officials testified that all 53 ballots had all been received on time. By the way, that case was based on 53 ballots. So far I've talked about 2 states, Arizona and Georgia. Let's get into Michigan, stuff happening in Michigan. In one case in Michigan, plaintiffs voluntarily dismissed their case on the 18th of November without explanation. In another case in Michigan, plaintiffs voluntarily dismissed their case on the 16th of November. In another case, the Trump campaign withdrew their lawsuit on the 19th of November. Are you seeing a trend here? Are you seeing a trend here? I want you to be the judge. We should pay attention to what's happening in a court of law, not what's happening in press conferences and allegations, and not what's happening in the court of public opinion. Unfortunately, the game is played in the court of public opinion, but I'm going to focus on what's happening as far as actual court decisions are concerned. So we talked about 3 cases in Michigan, 3 more cases in Michigan. In another case in Michigan, this was in Wayne County Circuit Court, a judge denied the request, saying that they have offered no evidence to support their assertions. And there was a request seeking to delay the election results. In another case, also in Wayne County Circuit Court in Michigan, a judge denied the bid on November 13th, rejecting arguments that the city's handling of absentee ballots spoiled the count. In another case, in the Michigan Court of Claims, a judge denied the request, noting that votes had largely been counted by the time the lawsuit was filed. Trump's campaign has indeed appealed. So that's what's happening in Michigan. In Nevada, there have been cases filed. We are waiting for the judge to make a decision in the state of Nevada. And there are some cases, multiple, by the way, multiple court filings are taking place in Nevada. One of the Nevada court cases, a state judge denied the request for an injunction. In another case in Nevada, it was dismissed at the request of the Trump campaign. So hopefully you're starting to see a pattern emerging here in terms of what's going on with the court cases. Excuse me. In another case in Nevada, a judge denied an immediate injunction to stop the vote count. So, super interesting when you really look at it. In Pennsylvania, and there's been a lot of controversy in Pennsylvania if you've been watching my other videos. And by the way, there was a judge in Pennsylvania who basically called the Trump case a Frankenstein's monster. I have covered that in another video on our channel. Pretty crazy stuff in Pennsylvania. In one of the cases in Pennsylvania, the plaintiffs voluntarily withdrew their case on the 16th of November. In another case in federal court in Pennsylvania, plaintiffs withdrew their case. In another case in Pennsylvania, in the Montgomery County Court of Common Pleas, the judge rejected the case on November 30th and ordered that the votes be counted. In another case in the Bucks County Court of Common Pleas, a judge on November 19th denied President Trump's bid to invalidate the ballots. Do you see what is happening? Do you see what is happening, my beloved viewers and subscribers? That's page 5. Let's see. Let's go to the next page because I'm actually reviewing all of these. By the way, I'll provide you with a link to this article and this resource in the description section below so you can check it out for yourself. It updates in real time. In another case in the Allegheny County Court of Common Pleas in Pennsylvania, an appeals court on November 19th ruled that the ballots cannot be counted in the Western Pennsylvania State Senate race, saying that handwritten dates provide a measure of security. The state Supreme Court put the decision on hold November 20th and will review the case. In another case in Pennsylvania, a judge on November 13th refused to reject the ballots, saying that no fraud was found. By the way, this goes against what the Trump administration's lawyers wanted. In another case in the Commonwealth Court of Pennsylvania, a judge on November 12th ordered counties not to count mail-in or absentee ballots for which the voter did not submit valid identification within 6 days after the election. The injunction deals with an as yet unknown number of ballots that may number a few thousand or less. But, the margin of victory for Joe Biden in Pennsylvania is much greater than, a few thousand votes. In Pennsylvania federal court, a judge dismissed the case on November 21st, writing that the campaign presented, I'm quoting, strained legal arguments without merit and speculative accusations unsupported by evidence. Just unbelievable. And in another case in Pennsylvania, 3rd U.S. Circuit Court of Appeals, on November 13th, the Federal Appeals Court upheld the 3-day extension. So that was an interesting result. In another case in Pennsylvania, the Commonwealth Court of Pennsylvania, a judge ordered on November 5th that party and candidate observers be allowed to get closer 6 feet to election workers processing mail-in ballots in Philadelphia. But the state Supreme Court ruled on November 17th that the city had given observers sufficient access from the beginning. And finally, in Wisconsin federal court, plaintiffs voluntarily dropped their case on November 16th. Now, guys, again, feel free to go through this information on your own. Over 30 different cases all over the country. A significant majority of them have essentially not gone in favor of the president, and it's very clear that we had a judge in Pennsylvania basically say what is going on here, and that judge basically called out the Trump campaign for arguments that that essentially were not cogent at best. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. I believe this is the first video of its kind on YouTube where you're getting a clear breakdown of what's actually happening with the court cases. Not press conferences, not allegations. These are judges who either see evidence or don't see evidence. And it's clear that the judges are not seeing evidence. And so what is happening is, I want our viewers and subscribers to understand there are two battles happening right now. There's a battle in the court of public opinion to cause confusion, to cause chaos, to essentially, justify the belief, if you will, that maybe there was something wrong with what happened on November 3rd. And the other is what's happening in the court of law. What's happening with judges who behind closed doors are seeing evidence or not seeing evidence and then basically coming to their own decision. And many of these are Republican judges. because a lot of these judges, you know, are conservative. So this shouldn't be about, hey, is the judge conservative or is the judge liberal? In fact, if you look at the broad trend, you'll see that this is happening across the country. This is happening across the country. You see, when someone is inexperienced or when someone is unable or unwilling to see the big picture, they say, oh, it must be that judge, it must be that judge. But when you look at the forest and not get stuck in the trees, you start to see a trend emerging. And I'll let my viewers and my subscribers, I know you folks are highly intelligent. Look, I'm very proud of our community. I believe that we are bipartisan. I believe we are intelligent. I believe we are analytical. I believe we are respectful. Hey, we can agree to disagree. In fact, let's disagree passionately. I'm completely okay with that. I invite it. I welcome it. I relish a good debate. But let's look at what's happening in courts, and then hopefully we can see, and hopefully we can realize that what is happening is what you believe. Is it fiction? Or do you choose to believe in reality? That is going to be your decision. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. My name is Dr. Nitin Chhoda with Ignition Time. I appreciate you. If you learned something new from this video, please consider clicking the like button. Please subscribe. Please enable notifications. Please ignite that subscribe button. That would be your vote of confidence in me. I'm really looking forward to seeing you in the next video. Thank you so much. I'll talk to you soon. Bye. Take care.